So, yes, we are nerdly still here at the Romford Film Festival, HORRHIFFIC 2024, day 3. We've just watched Slasher House 3 Rebooted and Martin's show as well, Life After. First of all, everybody, let us know who you are, what you did on your projects, and then we'll get talking about this.
Well, I'm Pauline Peart, and I did Pockets of Superstition and Sagittarius.
You did? And are you aware that you're also in Slasher House?
Yeah, you also did the...
Yes, I was waiting for I'm not pointing any finger to mention it and talk about it. I'm leaving it to him.
Okay.
I could talk about it all day. I will.
You will?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Pauline also did the voice for the H.E.X.A.G.O.N facility in Slasher House 3, which was like a really last-minute addition to like the film. Like it just, the whole thing felt like a little bit like something was missing, and so Martin had worked with Pauline before, and he said, would you? He asked her if she'd record the voice.
He said, I'm sending you something and someone. And can you get on with it? And I said, is it in public or is it quietly somewhere? He says, both.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it adds so much to the film. It just brings the whole thing to life.
It's sort of like the mother voice in Alien, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's kind of that.
Yeah.
It adds a little bit of that.
Because originally in the script, it was just the countdown. Yeah. So, but it was a lot of fun writing some like lines that I knew Pauline was going to say. You know, like please mind the doors, and kind of like, but in such a way, like just a little bit of menace to like the whole thing, and you know, like please stay where you are, kind of like she was always watching. Well, I've always been interested in making films. I kind of like in the kind of mid-90s, when I left school, like there was a bunch of people local to me making kind of like stuff on a camcorder that I kind of like ended up getting involved in, and I was kind of like, oh right, you can just like go make films, like okay. So I just kind of went and did that, like, and then I got a degree in it, and a degree as a screenwriter, and but I think my heart was always like in just the idea of just going and making something, and so in 2004 I started Mycho, which is like the company label that we work under, making short films, and then in 2007 I wrote a script called Slash House, with the idea of making it on like $500,000 or something like that, and in the end we raised about $5,000, and I flew like about 5 people out to the Isle of Man to go make it, and then like somehow it got like a wide release in like the UK and the US, and it was like quite popular. We never saw any money from it, but like people liked it and said, "Oh, what are you doing next? We'd love to see more of these characters." Yeah. And so I kind of threw all my plans out the window and was kind of like, "Okay, let's commit to this. If there are fans of it, let's." And so for the last kind of 14 years. I've bloody hell. Oh God.
And you're only 18.
Yeah. I was 12 yesterday. I've just been making films about these various characters in this stupid universe.
And how did you go about putting together your band of Merry Misfits that were going to help you make these products, these movies?
Well, it's kind of happened naturally, really. Like, I think I met my wife at the end of my first Slasher House, and she kind of took over as producer, and really she was the one who helped get it a distribution deal. And then we produced Legacy of Thorn with Paris together in 2012, 13?
12.
Yeah. And then so like Paris then kind of became a mainstay. And then we met Murray about a year later. Hello, Murray. Murray's the silent but deadly assassin back there. So we met Murray about a year later on a shoot with Aileen Daly, who's in the film.
Right.
And we kind of just got on. And so then Murray kind of said, "Oh, can I come and help on your next thing?" So yeah. And then we met Martin at the end of House 2, and he came on for Mask of Thorn, and then we met Adam, and it just kind of goes on, so we've got like mainstays now but really it started off just me, and then it was me and my wife, and then now we have like a little core team that get together every time to make stuff.
There is like a collective of filmmakers, independent filmmakers, who all sort of dip in and out of each other's projects and all that. How important is that for you guys to have that to lean on? And that's for like everyone.
It's really useful. It's helpful for all of us because helping each other make the project work. And if you meet one person maybe this month, 2-3 months down the road, they said, "Oh, I'm doing so and so. I need you," and it starts there again. And so you literally get to know each other, and you meet up monthly or quarterly or whatever, whenever. And someone would say, "I'm going to be doing this. Call me," and that's it. And so here we are. My killer friend over there. I'm never going to forget it. So I'm going to leave it at that for today.
Strangely enough, like when I first met Mike, I got a message from Anna, his wife, and she's like, "Oh, are you free to do this little short film, Roundabouts?" I was like, "That sounds so bad." Like, honestly, that was my first initial reaction. Then I read the script and I was like, actually, this is quite funny. Like, this quite a good thing to do. So I went there and did it, and I enjoyed it so much. I was like, "You got to put me in one of your next films and stuff." 4 years later, I get a call going, "Do you want to do The Prankster?"
You need a bit of a break from Adam.
Yeah. 4 years is nowhere near it.
Like, well, admittedly, the pandemic happened, and then everything kind of shut off. And then it was like 4 years later, I got to work with him again, so it's really good. And hopefully I get that spin-off, but who knows?
I mean, you are really, really banned for that, aren't you?
Oh, mate, honestly.
Even in the Q&A,
that's the character. That's me. Like, I want it.
I mean, I've had several Fatal Thrill stays. Like,
I've been
films
rejected
by now.
so many times.
So the audience is primed for.
You keep the whole movie's just going to be various pictures from Adam about what the movie should be about.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
Very Deadpoolish and very meta. Go for it. And yourself, Paris, all this and being involved in all this.
Oh yeah, I thoroughly. So I've dipped in and out of the indie horror community, as I like to endearingly call it, and yeah, it's amazing. Like, you see the same faces over a couple of years. I was in Liam Reagan's film. This is really bad.
Eating Miss Campbell.
That's the one. Eating Miss Campbell. I had a small role in that.
That's why I'm here, to remember names.
Yeah. Please don't kill me, Liam.
Don't worry, Liam.
It was over 2 years ago.
He'd be happy to kill you in a movie because Liam's like that.
Yeah, he is like that. And yeah, I've met a lot of different figures over the years, and yeah, it's kind of like a high school reunion every time. It's like, oh, we see each other again. What are we doing now? And it's always charming. I want to get back in. I think basically it's a common thing. I think everyone who's involved in independent horror films, like, I'm going to direct a film, and I'm no different. So, I hope to get back into it, and hopefully I'll probably get some of these miscreants involved.
Yeah, it's quite seductive, isn't it? Like, there's a gravitational pull that it seems that centers around Mike and and Martin, actually, because you got me involved in this.
That's just my weight.
Yes, that's it. So, like, you get involved in like one thing on the off chance. Like, I was just like looking to do some more like independent work, and then like you do the one project, you're like, those guys were really fun. They were really nice. Like, had a really good time.
Wasn't it a case of the first
or
one?
I couldn't get away. One of the two.
Was just I put a tweet out saying we were looking for somebody.
Yeah.
Sorry, tweet formerly known as X, whatever. Anyway.
No, not again.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. It was just the right place, right time.
I think it's more of a family basis. Once you join MJ, you get to meet everybody.
You can't get out.
You can't get out. It's not because you want to.
Yeah, you can try
get out.
I'll pull you back in.
You can run. You've been here 14 years, I think.
Yeah. We are united by blood.
When I signed the
That's it.
contract, I don't think it said soul on it, and now I'm wondering if it did.
But I think generally outside, I mean,
It's been
outside
10 years.
of us, it is like a family. Like even, I mean, the Mycho family is what we call it. But outside of that, the independent community is a family as well. I mean, like I think like most of the actors in /House 3 are also directors of their own stuff because they understand the kind of the breaks of trying to just make stuff on your own, and so you know they're in tune with what you're trying to do, and I think so that's a massive help. And I mean, like people like Alex Gent, Alex Churchyard, you know, like
Jason.
well, he wasn't involved in this one, but but Jason, you know, has been involved in our stuff before, and you know, Aileen Daly, who we were in a film with her a few years ago. Like she was like, "Oh, I'll come down and do a bit in it," you know, and like, and it's like that independent film family that you know, we're all kind of like you know, weird incest cousins of each other, you know. It's,
I like the way
you know, it's like the Hills Have Eyes of filmmakers.
Oh my God.
We are the Sawyer family.
If only I knew what that reference was, because
Martin
I've
doesn't
never
watch
seen it.
films. So.
right now in his life.
Yeah.
Well, on the weird incest cousins vibe,
Okay.
let's talk a little bit about your characters.
Such a segue.
Because how do you come up with some of these characters? Like, I mean, and even some of the names, Knucklehead. Come on, what a name!
Just before he
Go on,
answers that
please,
question, Mike was talking to me about what character I might end up playing in
Okay.
House 3. And he said, I've got various options. And it was on Facebook Messenger, and he just said, you know, it could be, and I'm going to get the order wrong. There's, you know, the Mirror Man, you know, and I go, oh yeah, that sounds good, and going through, I think about 5 to 7 different characters, all of which I go, oh yeah, no, that one, oh no, that one. I mean, I'm worse than Adam in that respect. And he eventually comes up with, or this one, Terry Bradley. Well, I suppose so.
No, sounds like he's going to be a sinister shit.
Yeah. Oh, I think. Yeah.
Well, like eventually,
Terry's got a way to go.
he once Martin kind of said, "Okay, that sounds interesting." Then you go away and you kind of go, right. So now I know who's playing this character. Sometimes I get to design that from scratch, and so Terry is very much based on like my perception of Martin.
Oh God.
In terms of like, but like in terms of like he's like the nicest, most friendly guy in the world. But then obviously I have to add like a serial killer twist to that.
Okay.
So you know he's the friendliest, nicest guy in the world, but he also has like his Siamese mother growing out of his back. You know, so you know, like and because I think the idea was like initially his name was like Mother's Boy. That was like a serial killer name. And so you work with that kind of idea. But then once I knew Martin was playing it, you go, oh, great. So he's called Terry and everyone loves him, you know, and he says, you do anything for anybody, but watch out for his mother. And then the idea is that she comes out and, you know, so sometimes it starts like that. Sometimes, like a lot of the time, like I'll come up with, like, I'll just need a character to kill off. Like, so I'll come up with something like Cleaver or Jacob the Panda, which is just like the idea is like it's just a killer clown, or it's just like a guy with a panda mask and a suit on, you know, something really cliched that I think I just need something to kill so we can go that's what this is. That's a standard serial killer in this universe. And then those ones always the most popular, and people go, when are we getting a Cleaver movie? When are we getting a Jacob the Panda movie? And I'm like, oh, I haven't developed them in any direction, so then I get stuck with kind of.
They were there just to be killed.
But the other problem is that, like, so they're all like a riff on like horror movie stuff.
Yeah.
So like you've got like Molly Bannister, who's kind of like a riff on like kind of like the Firestarter and Chucky and all that, or you've got like Drill Kill, who's like a riff on the Driller Killer from the 70s, or Jack's character Neville's Barrington. Is like a riff on like the Scream guys from the 90s, you know, and stuff like, so everything's kind of a riff on that. But then when you have to kind of come to develop their own thing, you then like, all right, it's a riff on that, but now I have to kind of flip that on its head again because you can't go back and do the same thing that you're referencing. So it's a complicated situation, you know, but fun and very creative. And like,
I'm going to say, when I was told about Mirror Man, I was told about a tight suit. I will say this: on the one day that actually happens, it decides to snow.
Nice.
So I was freezing. So you, like he was saying, you have to really like all what you've got.
Yeah.
And then obviously jump out with the next scene. But I'm going to say he created, MJ created so quick time. He created things as we was going along, and then you had to put this tight suit on.
Yeah.
And I was like, blimey. But we had so much fun. The thing is with MJ, he can create something in seconds.
Yeah.
And he's on board. And obviously, you'll just find something out and you've got to go along with it. You know?
Yeah, Mirror Man, because originally we had another actor cast as Mirror Man, and so it's that thing where we built that character from the ground up based on the actor, but then like he had like a top 40 single before Christmas, so like he became like really busy, and so we kind of threw out there and said, look, we need to, and then Aaron he also played one of the beta agents.
I played the Ninja, obviously,
Yeah,
and Black with Adam. Then I played obviously Mirror Man, and then the very ending was the other.
The demon at the end.
Demon.
But so Aaron just kind of said, well, look, he'd come and done a bit, and so we knew he was reliable and good, and so he said, I'll come and do it. Never fear, Aaron Jackson is here, as he says. But then obviously we had to reinvent the character, like literally on the set, so we had this costume that had kind of been worked out around this one guy that was like very punk rock, but then he had like, he's got like wild Christopher Lambert hair and stuff, so that was what we and then obviously we when we start, Aaron's a completely different person, so then you've got to reinvent that character from like the ground up on the day, and so everything's a challenge like that. But that's what I mean. You couldn't, when you've got people like these, like you can do that. You can face that.
Just that you obviously, with being a martial artist too, it helped as well.
Yeah.
Because when me and Adam got together, it was literally like on the scene.
Yeah.
On the set. So you got, I don't know, kickboxing or anything, Krav Maga or anything like that. I'm Wing Chun, kickboxing, Thai boxing, and more. So when it came to asking from MJ, we want a Power Ranger star, or we want like this, it was so easy for us.
Yeah.
Which made it easier for MJ too. And then it's absolutely great when he was playing it.
Yeah, it's good fun.
I think the other thing with characters in Slasher House 3, of course, is, and also the whole community effort behind any indie horror in the UK, is one of the characters came from a crowdfunder, and the idea of the competition to have someone design their own monster to be included in Slasher House 3, which of course was DPP 72, the character that my character kills.
Right, okay.
And that I think was just an indication that even before you go into production, there's people behind the film, and that is mightily important, and that all comes from the UK indie horror community.
How does crowdfunding work? Like, because it seems like a right ball ache.
Horribly.
Yeah.
Crowdfunding is like trying to make like a really difficult to make film, and then when you've done that, you have to go and then make the film. It's like, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but at the same time, it has allowed us over the last kind of 14 years to do things the way we want it, because like for all the times we've worked with limited budgets, we have been offered more, but for such loss of control that you think like is it worth making that film? You know what I mean? And so like I think for us it's important to keep like the creativity of it alive, so it's not just a product that people, because this is the problem, is the more money gets involved, the more your film becomes a product that has to sell, someone has to look at and go, I want that. Like, out of anything else I've looked at on Amazon Prime today, that's the one I want, and you have to sell it as that. And I think especially as well, making films like this, like films like Slasher House 3 are made directly for the people who want to watch, I guess. And so you want to keep that.
Oh, definitely.
That vibe, and so
you've now got a little bit of a almost built-in audience, a cult audience, and you want to keep catering to them while at the same time flexing your muscle. But
and the humor. Humor.
But yeah, you also want to do something bigger every time as well, and so you kind of have to ask for more money every time, and so the idea is to kind of build that up over the years. But I mean, you know, we ask for what we think we need, and then half that usually, and then just everything else is spit and glue and a bit of gaffer tape, and hopefully it all hangs together. There's literally like a scene in H.E.G.O.N 3 where one of the hammer weapons is like wobbling because again, that's what between takes we're like shoving dowling rods down this thing, trying to keep it from falling over. You know, that's what it is. But at the same time, it's our thing, and we would like no one in their right mind was going to give us the money to make /House 3. A large amount of money to make such a personal project like that. You know. So you raise the money in any other way you can, and crowdfunding seems to be, for us, the way that's worked, where we can deliver what people want directly to them, and
because you've delivered before, they'll come back again.
Well, that's the dream, that's the hope.
Yep.
Yeah. In terms of filmmaking, when you all have got into your craft and got into your art, what would you say, and I want to go around everybody, what would you say you've learned the most about yourself during this process?
Paris, do you want to start?
Okay, I'll speak. Yeah, I think I said it in the panel question thing in there, but I think one of the main things I've realized, particularly with this particular motion picture, I've realized I'm more of a comedic actor, whereas when I initially started, I tried to do more drama, but I realized I'm far better at doing comedy, and I really appreciated being able to have a lengthy speaking role in a motion picture in a funny role, because I was able to do that, and I really enjoyed having cheesy one-liners and being silly and making goofy faces and being the silly but hunky sidekick on camera. And I really like H.E.G.O.N because what's the name of the Friday the 13th final boy? Tommy
Jarvis.
So H.E.G.O.N is kind of heavily based off Tommy Jarvis and someone else, correct?
Yeah. So he's named after the character from Night of the Living Dead.
All right.
The African American one.
Yeah. So there's a lot. There's loads of horror lineage references in our stuff. But yeah, so he's like the Tommy Jarvis of the Thorn franchise.
Yeah, the rare final boy and the final boy of color.
The Corey
Feldman. Very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare. Final boys and final boy color. Yeah, but it's a great character to play, and he's kind of has this weird Captain Ahab-esque obsession with Thorn. He could just be a normal guy. He could just be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to have a normal job, be chill, whatever. But he self-sabotages and he keeps going after Thorn. But it's a mixture of, Captain Ahab and Hamlet, because every time Thorn is in front of him, he procrastinates and he never delivers the finishing blow. And even in this film, is oh, God damn it. So,
it's it's like he wanted to mean something so much that he has to do the speech before, and then that's always the thing that
he's quite Shakespearean.
It's always the thing that that stops him from doing it. So it's I love writing Eric as well.
What do we aim to do? We kill him and talk about it for another 3 films.
Yeah.
That's good for you though, because you've got a franchise.
Yeah.
I got a franchise. I didn't see that.
You did with your eyes.
Very long hours. I do that on the Disney films too. It's all right. But I really like these films, and I look forward to being in the next one.
Yeah.
Maybe this time I'll get him. Maybe not. Maybe I'll stop at the last second.
Maybe there'll be a twist of horrific irony at the end. There.
Maybe you let him live.
I'll learn that the true meaning was not the journey, but the friends.
The friends you made along the way. Yeah.
That sounds like a slasher.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of opposite to the Paris, and I wanted to get more into drama. But I was like, I do so many comedies. So I try and get into drama, going, we've got a comedy role for you. I'm like, I was like, just give me something where I can be like the heroic drama, hunky guy, because I'm real hunky.
He's like Adam's like the
Yeah.
super hench.
Yeah, I'm like
Oh,
really
yeah.
exactly.
You know, like
I mean, and it's just like I keep getting roped into these comedies, but I love doing them. But I'm like, just let me do one big drama where everyone cried. But no, it's just like
you do also
Cry the
relax.
You're making a great war picture, though, right?
yeah,
There'll be lots of
yeah,
crying there.
yeah. Hopefully, hopefully they're like, he's too funny to be in a war film.
You do realize how hard comedy is to do though, and nail.
Oh yeah, like don't get me wrong, it's so hard to do, but like it comes naturally to me.
yeah.
Like,
I just wish you'd put it, bring it.
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
film,
exactly.
you
I
know?
wish I was doing it for this. Do you know what I mean? But you know, it's
Camera turns on and you just go. Nah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
decided not to try on this one.
Just starts crying.
But no, I wanted to go, and then I was like, all right, I'm a comedy actor. That's where I am. But I'm making my own stuff, so hopefully I can showcase what I've got
A
there.
comedy actor.
Yeah,
Chris
nothing-
Hemsworth
nothing-
is a better comedy actor than an action star.
That's
Is
true.
he though? Is he
That's
good at
true.
anything?
I mean,
I mean, Marvel
I
is bad,
mean,
but that's a different discussion.
Yeah.
I mean, in Adam's defence, he's a great all round actor. We have done comedy, and we did a serious role in Horoscopes, which is on tonight.
Oh yeah.
Tonight, yeah.
Oh, we did that, didn't we?
And he
Yeah, I
plays
did.
a very serious role in that. Although, again, you're very funny in that.
Yeah, because I thought it was supposed to be funny. I was like MJ movie. It's definitely going to be funny.
He thought our women trafficking movie was hilarious.
Yeah.
No, I thought I was supposed to be like the comic relief of the film. I thought that's why I was hired. So,
But he is,
Yeah.
you know, he is a very good serious actor as well. You know, all round. But yeah, he naturally shines at comedy, and you can see that just in his physicality.
yeah.
And the guys are on the back. Well, what have we learned about ourselves?
Okay, well, if I'm honest, this is my first movie, proper movie, so it's done really well. I've learned, still funny in certain ways. Got the kung fu aspect, which I love, and the action side of things, and horror. And on a personal level for me, I had a teacher that passed away, and his dream was for me to be in the movies and do the kung fu. So when Mark Sears got me to Adam Lesmore on media, and then to MJ, and then now to this, it's like I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's not just I've learned so much. I've learned that I always doubted myself when actually really watching it now, the second time coming, it wasn't that bad. And
That's all I can pull out on the poster.
it was shocked.
It wasn't that bad, guys.
And not just that, I'm meeting everybody, and it's like a big family. So when you see each other, it's not like it's more like a how you doing, bro?
Yeah.
You know, it's family. So it's not that you build and like you want to do something else again. So like for me, it's built my confidence in ways that I didn't think I had. And that's why I thank MJ and also Anna Dixon too, and everybody else, Martin, everybody. You know, because I'm actually living my dream and living a wish that I led.
Yeah.
So I want to do more. That's why I just think this is perfect.
Awesome.
There's just so much to say, but in a short space, I thank everybody, and I want to do more.
And you will. You will.
Yeah.
Well, sort of building off of that, actually, in terms of like confidence building. You find there are some directors can be very prescriptive about what they want for your performance for that character. They've got a very like set, rigid sort of idea in mind for that character. And so when you as the actor are coming into it with a fresh pair of eyes and you see things maybe slightly different to the director's original intention, sometimes that can cause a bit of friction. And then that's when you as the actor back down and go, the director knows best. Like, let's just not get involved in that side of things.
Hang on, actors back down and say the director knows best.
Yeah.
Oh, is that an option?
At least that's what I say. I want to keep getting work, you know.
I've never done that.
But like, but what I found with this, which was so kind of rewarding, was that this level of trust that that MJ has with us. I mean, I'm obviously speaking from my own experience, but so the whole thing about the scream aspect of Neville's Barrington, I hadn't really leaned into that in the performance of it, and instead brought I did something completely different with it.
Yeah.
You said to me afterwards, I was not expecting you to do that, but you're like, just keep doing it. We like it. And to have, so it's really rewarding to be able to make your own decisions on that character, and then like have the filmmaker trust you enough to be like, like not only trust it but like it.
Yeah.
Rewarding. Like, this is cool. You should do that. Like the whole like the little eye things on his eyes going independently when they blinked to make him just a bit off. So you knew there was something a bit wrong about him from the get-go, but wasn't quite sure what it was. And then, of course, like as well as that, I've I really liked with that character that we had a male character that was kind of objectified, because there's obviously a trope in horror with like female characters, and so it was nice to have like my ass on the screen.
Well, I think that's a big moment for me, because when we did the first Slasher House, obviously the lead character wakes up with no clothes on at the beginning, and I got like hell for that for like 3 or 4 years, going, well, you know, it's the girl who wakes up naked but nobody else does. And I was like, why do you assume nobody else woke up naked? Like, because in my mind, everyone wakes up with no clothes on, and then they get given their uniform. So, like, the killer clown wakes up, like, butt naked, and, you know, like, and all that. And they put but people seem to think I'd just objectified this one girl. And so I was like, right, Slasher House 3, you're all getting naked. So I made it
for my shower scene.
Well, you played Naked Adam, didn't you?
Yeah, technically naked me. I'm supposed to be
I
want to be naked.
I'm supposed to be bald underneath the thing. But obviously, I've got too much hair.
I was especially flattered because I hadn't worked out for the role or anything, but they were just like, "You've got to find bod."
You were like,
the highlight.
You're a hot chunk of meat. Get in there. But then obviously Sai had to have like a full body prosthetic and be naked. But I had to make that suit from scratch. And so how I made it was we had two options. Is because he had to have the full body suit, so it had to be whole latex. So our two options were I could put it on a mannequin and paint it up and peel it off this mannequin when it was done, or but we didn't have a mannequin at the house. Or I could put the suit on. And because I'm about the same height as Sai and about the same build, you know, bit more muscular, you know. But or I could put the suit on and paint it. So what I did is I put this morph suit on and basically painted the whole thing with latex. But of course, it just soaked through onto my skin. So I had about 7 layers of latex on and this suit, and then my wife was just peeling this suit off me and the hair. And like it was just like having like a full body wax, and then I had to hand this suit over to Sai the next day. Like, wear that. There you go. Luckily, I wore some underwear and stuff, so he didn't get all the good bits. But there was like my leg hair like embedded in this latex suit on the inside, kind of thing. But all that was so that he could be naked in this shot.
Sai would have done it. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, but also I knew it would be painful, so I didn't want to put him through that because I thought he definitely won't come back if I do that.
No, I mean he wouldn't need a bodysuit. He would have just been naked.
That is true. Yeah,
I've seen it.
Yeah. He's doing it right now.
My character, of course, obviously wakes up naked off screen, so that doesn't get seen. So that's a bit of a change, really. I don't know if that's my personal development for the film.
I think we've seen enough of that.
Yeah, exactly. My take from it all was the fact that actually on the production manager side of things, it's just that continual get up, get to set, do what you're doing, make sure that Mike's happy, Mike is going, he's got his head in the right place. The best times were actually trying to get something out of Mike's head so that I could make sure the actors were rehearsing whilst Mike was setting up cameras, lights, and all the rest of it. And just then going, right, end of the day, packing everything down, get to a hotel, fall asleep, wake up the following day, do it all again. It's the first time I've really done that for so many days on a single film project. Because I think I was involved with about 25 of the shoot days. And whilst I wouldn't say it's a development for me because I would know I could do that, doing it so many times was a development, and also the fact that Mike had some trust in me that I was the right guy to be basically next to him, pushing him in the right direction. In the panel earlier, when he talked about the first 5 days being sheer hell, he didn't want to get up, get onto the filming. He said that to me at the end of the shoot, and I'm not sure I believed it. I believe it today.
Oh, Thank you.
Don't forget his chocolate orange mocha.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, quite. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe
My
that
chocolate
could-
orange.
maybe
chocolate.
that could-
Yeah. Drive it past coffee this morning.
MJ special.
I'd always make sure that if Martin picked me up, we'd get a coffee on the way. You know.
Well, for me,
Did you learn anything on this film?
I did. I learned I could work on my own. I have always worked with other people. And when they both asked and sent me the script, and I had a day, and I went, damn it, I have no one to rehearse it on or with. And I have to get it back later or tomorrow. So that was an experience
Yeah.
I had and learned from because, as I said, I had never just gone and it's like a voiceover, and it worked.
Yeah.
We were happy with
Yeah,
it.
and it adds so much to the film.
And for that, and it was the first time, although I had seen and met and know Martin, I did not know the others. And I've met them over the time since we started. And now, yes, I had a great time. It was a great experience. And I'm looking forward
To the next
many
one.
more.
Well, there you go.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you.
Right, so we're going to start wrapping it up a little bit now. But thank you for giving us this movie. It's absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed watching
Thank
this.
you.
We get a hell of a lot of submissions, and when you come across something like Slasher House, that it's just fun, and you just
Oh,
you can see what the filmmakers, the creators, everyone was doing with this. It's just fun, and I loved it. So I want to speak to you on that as well, because I'm a fellow Northern boy as well. I'm from Newcastle. You're from Sunderland, so it's great to see somebody doing well from my neck of the woods as well.
Yeah.
But one last thing that I always try and ask somebody to do, anybody on the couches can do this, let the people out there know online, and well, it's not online right now, but when it goes out, why should they check this movie out?
If you're insane, you should probably check it out. No,
Brilliant.
but yeah, I think
It's all about fun.
Yes.
I think we just wanted to make a fun film. You know, I think you know, it wears its kind of indie horror heart so much on its sleeve that it's very difficult not to see that. You know, like this is a culmination of 10 years of making films and being criticized for not having enough money or budget, or you know, and just going, fine, that's all right. Like, you know, and like we're just doing what we're doing and we're having a good time, and like we just want to tell stories, really, like, and introduce cool characters and fun characters, and really, like, you know, get on set and have a good time. You know, I should also mention, because she hasn't been mentioned during this, my wife Anna also produced like the hell out of this remotely, whilst also taking care of two children. Like, which we've never done before. You know, this is the first time she's not ever been able to be on set. But you know, thanks to Martin's hard work and you know, as kind of working as a as Anna's conduit, I guess, in some way.
Second one.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, my work wife.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely. How do you think I got the job?
It's a massive culmination of just like love and passion, really. And that sounds daft for the film that you see, because you think, why would anyone put that kind of amount of like time and passion into just such nonsense? But it is just us wanting to tell the kind of stories we want to tell, and I genuinely don't think there's anything like Slasher House 3.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it in the performances. Everyone was having a good time. Like, I honestly, most fun I've ever had on set. Like, and I was pretty much there every day because I was every character. But I won't mention that again.
Yeah.
Oh, what
but-
you saying?
Every character.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see
No, but like, I have to say thanks to like Anna, because she really looked after us all and that, and she made sure we was alright. Like, because I would have struggled getting there a lot, so it's like, I'll get you a hotel. It's like, that's great, because I'm skint, so So it would have been like, but it was great fun, and I think you can see it in the film. Yeah.
I agree with Adam on that.
Well, guys, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for
sitting
having
down
us.
with me.
Yeah,
I know
thank
you've already done it out there, and you come back and do this again. But thank you, guys.
We
That
got to
was
do
awesome.
the
Thank you
Slasher
so
House 3 reboot.
Thank you.
Hmm?
Do you want us to do anything at the end?
Yeah.
No, surely we just
Come on, lad.
stop.
I don't know what we're doing.
Go team.
Yeah.
Wildcats. Oh.
Wildcats.
Go Wildcat.
Thunderbirds are go.
Wildcats, get your head in the game.